we're live. Welcome back to Beyond Our Limits 2026. I got my guest back again, Mr. Precious.
It's so nice to be here.
Yeah, you gotta start off with the year positive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How's everything going, bro? How's everything? How's your New Year's? How was your Christmas?
Yeah, it's been good. 2025 was a good year. Hopefully 2026 is gonna be a better year for everybody.
Oh, it's not really starting to pretty good actually. 'Cause what's happening around the world?
Yeah, I mean, of course, we've seen a lot of differences in the different countries having issues, especially with the recent one, Venezuela.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it started off with Australia, ending it with that shooting, and now we're going to Venezuela.
Yeah, I mean, after the recent Bond Day attack in Australia in that should be one of the Sundays in December.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was around December, just before the New Year's, just before Christmas.
Yeah.
It was a big shooting. It's a sad moment, to be honest. But at the end of well, the good thing is now they've captured those people, but it's a scary moment because you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, and also we send our condolence to those who were affected anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, right away, I was just like, the other day I just woke up on the 3rd of January and I'm like, hearing a lot of things on the media.
I know, it's crazy, bro. What a start of the year. Our first thing what I heard is the bombing in Venezuela, and I was like, what's going on here?
What's happening? Yeah, because with little I know, I just got to know that that the US was the people behind it, and then the most surprising thing was the president of a nation being captured.
Yeah. Well, look, Venezuela has always been corrupt for many years.
Wow.
Let's be real. Like even my dad used to tell me how bad Venezuela was,
Wow.
and the presidency of Venezuela, believe me, like it's crazy. In presidency you get a second election.
Yes.
So
yes.
there was another election. He loses, but ends up being president.
Mm-hmm.
So how does that work, man? You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's very corrupt, bro. This is what's happened with Venezuela. I'm very happy with because I'm thinking of the people. The people have suffered a lot. Can you imagine a country who has a lot of oil, a lot of gold?
Yeah.
One of the highest oil gold countries in the world
I just
ends
heard
up
that,
being really corrupt, and the people have died. A lot of young people have passed away through the president. I'm happy for what's happened, but I'm not happy what's happening to the country. If that makes sense.
Yeah, because there's a lot of interactions. Many media is saying a lot of things about is it legal for the US to come into Venezuela?
It is illegal.
It's illegal.
Yes, because you can't rent. Look, it's like Donald Trump is what he's doing. He's telling Putin and China to not do what they do, right? And then he's going to Israel to doing the same thing. He's being a hypocrite and he's attacking Venezuela, saying he's saving Venezuela, but he isn't.
Wow.
That's the situation that he isn't. He's
Wow.
actually, when I've dove into the research, and
Yes.
America always wanted to have Venezuela.
Wow.
Because they have a lot of oil. So America wants to they want to be the dominant country, dominant dollar.
Yes.
So when it comes to transactions, so
Yes.
when we have business or any kind of business, if they're selling me this laptop to you, you have to pay me American money.
Yes.
So to keep the American money up, you have to have the oil.
Wow.
So when I found out that, and they're saying, first thing that he said is we're going to be controlling the oil. Come on, bro.
I saw that.
That's a bit suspicious, I think.
Well, it's not we're going to be controlled. I think right now they already have a deal. We saw that yesterday. They have access to over 50 million barrels right now, and they are going to. I'm telling you, so they're going to be the new government of Venezuela, interim one. They are currently, struck a deal yesterday or something. Is in the media right now. So, and of course, I just wanted you guys to pay attention on this matter.
Yeah. Well, look, let's. What's your opinion on the whole situation with Venezuela? Is it 50-50 with you? Mine's 80-20.
Well, most Venezuelans, because I wanted to go with facts. When when it came up, remember I sent you a message and I
Yeah,
said to
you
you,
did.
we started talking and you said they are going for their resources. This is not really just for the prosperity of Venezuela. You were referring to Puerto Rico?
Yeah, they did the same thing with Puerto Rico.
Yeah, so I wanted you to expand on that. That was why I kept quiet when you said that. When you chatted me up and said that, I said, okay, what happened to Puerto Rico?
Well, with the whole situation, they came to Puerto Rico to help him same thing, the situation with Venezuela. But then at the end of it, they kind of like forgot about him.
Interesting.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
And there's a lot of things that have happened in Puerto Rico, and
Okay.
now what's happening right now is since Puerto Rico is part of America, there's a lot of people going there and living there.
So do they have resources like these people?
No, as resources, no.
Okay.
Well, look, it was a good thing what they do. So I'm saying America does a good thing, but as well they do a lot of bad.
Okay.
So it will do something to benefit them.
Okay.
You know, some people look. If people from America might be like, I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I know that when Donald Trump attacked Venezuela, it wasn't just because we're gonna get rid of the presidency.
Yes. Uh-huh.
What my father told me, he's like, out of all the years
Yes.
that this guy was presidency,
Yeah.
why today? Out of all the time right now.
So in 2017, 2017, if we date back, a sanction was the U.S. gave sanctions to Venezuela as of then. So I think it's not just during his time. This has been something that has been recurring, and we know the current charges against the current Maduro, which is the president who have been captured and is facing some trials right now in the United States. So we know that some of the things around his charges, most of them are into drug trafficking, firearms and all of that, lots of things that have to do with that. And at the end of the day, if you go back and check and ask, okay, look, go to the media now and start asking questions. Okay, what's happening? Look for Venezuelans, people living in Australia, people living in different countries, even some of them living in Venezuela. You can see that even when it happened, they went to the streets and they were celebrating.
That's what I'm saying. It's a good thing. It's celebrating because you got rid of a dictatorship, you got rid of a corrupt president.
And then there's this fact. Like I come from, my origin is Africa and Nigeria, for instance. So some of the things that people say, something like I see people saying, and I love what most influencers are saying. Or they're like, oh, you guys are concerned about our country now. You guys are concerned that this might look like a dictatorship. But he's saying that we have these resources you're talking about that they're coming for. We have it, but we are not benefiting from it.
Exactly.
For years, not even 2, not 3 decades, like for years.
Yeah.
So it's being run by a group of certain elites. You understand? So if this is the way it is, and Trump comes out yesterday and says, okay, we are going to be handling this, and we're going to be able to sell this and also help make Venezuela better. To be honest, as a businessman, all right?
Yeah, okay, fair
Let
enough.
me ask you a question. If you are the person coming to do that, won't you actually have your own share in it?
Well, if you're thinking of a business way, yes. But if you're thinking of a way of a person who has a heart, I would want to help Venezuela to get on their feet so they can make profit, not me make profit. Because that's what I'm saying, bro. At the end of the day, the older I got, the more I realize politics is just all business, bro. At the end of the day, everything's business. There's corruption everywhere.
Yeah,
not just in Australia, not just in Venezuela, but everywhere, bro. There's corruption, no matter what it is.
All right, and I also feel like at some point we should also look inwards and say, okay, now let's look at what the citizens are saying. Because if the citizens are saying something different, then we can get the history. And from history, some of the things I've gathered, and some Venezuelans I have to contact from my TikTok and all those social media platforms, and they're telling me that this has been over a decade. And even this current president was not supposed, this is allegedly, that's what they said, that he was not supposed to be the president. Because of the election that was recently done, it was rigged.
It was rigged. He lost. He lost the election votes, and then he announced himself as president still.
And the funny thing is, I've seen some videos coming out when he's saying that the US can't do anything to him. And some videos there, he's like real videos and saying nobody can do it, nobody can touch me. And creating alignment with some certain countries that are right now acting like they are interested in defending the interests of Venezuela. But meanwhile, they were already in good relationship with Maduro. and actually have a place. You know, some certain countries we have China there, we have some other countries.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
Russia
yeah,
is
yeah.
there. So if you look at all those things and position it well, you understand that this thing is just beyond. The people are not saying, oh, that this was good enough that the US came to capture, but it was so bad that they just said, oh, it was better that the US captured the president, let them even come and take over and they didn't take over the government actually, they actually allowed them to get in. But like we look at them in my own country, we call it the common citizen out there.
Yeah.
You understand? So that's the voice we want to hear. Not just the voice of the elites saying and all of that. And I believe that the way it is and the current interim government is cooperating with the United States of America. So we are hoping. So my end of this, what I'm trying to say is that let's see what happens. All right? During this period, let's see if it's going to look like, oh, it's business, it's just the US and all of that. But what I want to say, which I heard someone say in the podcast, is that US love control. They want, that's what power. Are you talking about what power here? So it's
true.
control. So even if they're not going to even exploit or do more with whatever is coming from there, they just want to be the fact that they can control and say, this is who we want you to do business with. No more business for this country, no more business for this country. They want to just be in that space. And then if they do that, and at the end of the day, the prosperity of Venezuela increases and the normal citizen there start getting life better, why not?
Well, I just really hope that everything goes well for the Venezuelans, because I've heard stories and I've heard a lot of crazy things that's happened over there, and even some people who came here to Australia, some Venezuelans, they've come here angry, bro, like frustrated, angry. Bro, there was one time they were playing football. Right, we're playing football with my family, just like normal, like outdoor, 7-a-side. Can you imagine we just going to a random fight with them? Wow. Random fight, bro. That's a typical Latino fight, just random fight. Yes. And then they brought up like, oh, back at home, everyone dies because they do cheap shots in Venezuela. And I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? Yeah. We're not in there anymore. You're in Australia. You don't have to worry about that. But I'm telling you, bro, what's happened there has happened for so long. The corruption and everything is crazy, bro. How over I don't really understand out of all the time now, but the thing is what people don't understand is the way that Donald Trump did it is going to create a problem now.
Yeah,
because now China's like, okay, you did that.
Yeah.
Why can't I do what I can do? As well, same with Putin. Same thing, and as well, Israel. So, oh, wait, you told me not to do it, but you're doing it. Now you're being a hypocrite. So do you know what I mean? Now it's creating a problem. I think they should have done it like this. If they know that the president is corrupt and what he's doing and drug laws and all of that situation, why didn't they do it properly and take him to court and arrested him as a unit of, everyone comes together, what he's doing is wrong.
In 2017, August, precisely, Donald Trump, his former, the first tenure, he imposed some sanctions on this same Venezuela, and most people really think this is just happening now. And he's saying that has been a long-term thing, that they have sanctioned a lot of things coming out from Venezuela, and he's got a lot of things on them, and especially they have to do with drugs and all of that, trafficking and all of that. So if we're seeing this is not something per se that is just Donald Trump. This is something that have to do with the U.S. government.
It's been going. Every single president wanted Venezuela, bro.
Yes.
Every single president, even Obama, even after before Obama, all of those presidency always wanted Venezuela.
Yeah, because they are currently the oil powerhouse of the world.
Of course,
because they who have one of the largest resources that have to do it. They have gold, but they have oil, and oil is big business. Who have the oil? Oil is like something that the United States is really interested in, not just because of the money that comes from it, but because of the fact that they can they can control some certain things that happen in some certain countries, because most countries depend on that, So this is a game of, let's say, power tussle, you understand? And before then, are you aware that, because there's some recent news coming up, that we have Chinese ambassador, it's on news here, visited Maduro recently. Yes, just recently before.
Because they're part of that group, bro. That group that they created. Yes. He's part of that. Now, that's the reason why China and Russia and North Korea are not happy, because Venezuela is a part of it. Yeah. Don't forget Argentina is a part of it too.
Yes. So with that, US feels like this is closer to us than ever before. We're just a mile away from yours. Like, that's water separating us. So this is close to us, and it's something, and that's why I think they looked at it and they said, "Oh, if this is because you know how this territorial thing works, a country tries to come and gets closer to a country close to you to actually strike a deal, bilateral trades in form of that." They get closer to you. They invade your system through another country, and indirectly they start neutralizing your own country and all of that. Get to know lots of information. So that is what I believe, which most Medianists believe, that might have inspired this action to like, let's strike now, let's go for it now. But however, my surprising thing is, if Maduro was expecting that the US will come for him someday, as he's saying now, so and feels like he's well protected. What really happened? How did they even get into?
Bro, they've been monitoring him for 4 months, bro.
Wow.
4 months. I mean, like watching him, drones. Bro, they've caught. there's a meme. They caught him like naked in the shower. Yeah, with the drones. They've been watching him. They've been watching him doing all of that for 4 months. I've been watching him, and then they trying to. What I found out is there's been watching him for 4 months that they've trained special ops to memorize the building.
Yeah.
Because they have drones, they've been watching him, and so they've trained some special ops to go there to memorize the floor and to memorize what the room looks like, his room looks like, to capture him.
Now, because of these certain things, let's also look at the fact that they were talking about most Venezuelans are in the US.
Yeah.
And they said there was, because of the recent economic and political tussle and all of that, lots of their citizens moved to the US.
Yeah.
And the US literally created a program for them in their visa program, like temporary visa program just for Venezuelans. Are you aware of that? So, which means that like the decadence in their economy and the political corruption has been so much that even the citizens can't even stay in their country. The word there is fled. Not like somebody like me now that just woke up and say, I want to come to Australia to practice and offer my professional service. No, this one run, fled. So it tells you how bad the government looks like. You understand? But I think the voice we should cherish more is the voice of the citizens.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. For me, it's 80% citizen, 20%. How they did it wasn't right, but at the end of the day, it's done. But I'm mostly happy for the Venezuelans. They can as well now, if America's taking over, they can have proper economy, proper housing, proper everything. Bro, there was people starving.
Yeah, people are starving. And the capital city of Venezuela, which is Caracas, Caracas with a lot of, it has a lot of history.
A lot of history,
with a lot of political disruptions and corruptions starting from, back in the day. So Venezuela have a history that dates back with a lot of corruption in it. You understand? And the country economic is, like what baffles me the most. This is something that happened, I'm just trying to mention this thing. Congo. Sudan, in all these places in Africa, how can people have what could make them billion-dollar status as a country, and then their citizens suffering?
Because you got the wrong people as leadership. Because they have power. They want power. If they go into leadership, even though their country has a lot of resources and oil, they are wealthy in that way. But what I'm saying. Corruption is not just in those countries. Corruption is everywhere.
It's everywhere, yes.
Even here, there's corruption.
Yes.
Even people realize there's corruption here, bro. But it's like tucked underneath. We don't know.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not that obvious.
It's not that obvious.
It's everywhere.
It's not like you're saying to me that I think Nigeria was saying that he is corrupt. Yes. He's saying he's corrupt, but no one can do anything.
Yes.
So that's a different type. Like one is showing that they're corrupt, and one's corrupt, but it's like I'm sweeping it out. No one knows that's corrupt. But I'm sweeping it under the rug.
Yeah. So for some of the viewers who don't really know about this thing, is that like we have to listen more to the voice of the normal citizens of Venezuela, because most of these people that are talking from different countries, this is not Korea, whatever, different countries, it's just interest.
Yeah, of course.
They have interest, you understand? Just like the US have interest. That's, someone was trying to, point that out to me. I said, no, this is a game of interest here. If China is saying, what they're doing is not good, there's an interest. Even if Nigeria wake up tomorrow and start saying, what the US did, no, it's interest.
Yes,
You
that's
understand?
right.
But the most important thing is, what are the citizens saying? What
The
are they
citizens
saying?
are happy.
They're
I think
happy.
it would if the same situation happened with China, for example, maybe the people will be happier. I don't know, because
Maybe.
at the end of the day, it's like, bro. One thing I found out
Yeah.
in Philippines
Yeah.
many years ago,
Yes.
they were the second richest country. No, second richest Asian country.
Philippines.
Philippines
Wow.
once.
I didn't know
I
that.
didn't know that either. Wow, like I found that out.
Wow.
And then I've read, I got more into it, and I found out that the reason why they lost everything is because they had the wrong leadership and corruption.
Wow.
So it's like I said, it's all depending who's running the country. If these people are running it to build their country up, or they're running it to benefit themselves.
Wow.
So there's a lot of that happening around the world. No, you know what I mean? When I
Yes.
found out, when it came to the Philippines as well, they had 1 point something billion to help their country with flooding, because it's a flooding country, because there's there's a lot, it rains a lot, tsunamis,
Wow.
all of that.
Wow.
So what right now what's going on over there is those people, they grabbed their money and used it for themselves to
Yeah.
buy cars, to buy all of the nice luxury things, and now they're going through a court to pretty much put those people in jail, which is good.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's corruption everywhere. But going back to the people, I'm really happy for them.
Yeah. So now, most people will be asking, what and why was Maduro captured?
Because of what? Mostly because of the doing drugs, going through selling cocaine over there.
Yeah.
It's mostly drugs.
Yeah.
He was doing and selling it to America. Selling it all to the drug lords there,
Yes.
and as well, Colombia apparently is involved. I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
America now wants to get Colombia, and then he wants to get Greenland.
Yes.
Greenland, I don't understand.
Yes. I mean, as you said a lot, like, power deals more with territory. If you want to be a world power, you have to take more territory more than ever before. Now, that was, when yesterday I was watching the charges that was laid against him, and what you said was correct. The first one was narco terrorism conspiracy, which is that. Second one was cocaine importation and trafficking. The third one was possession of machine guns and destructive devices, that have to do with, all of that. And the most curious thing is that when they asked this guy a question, you know what he said? He said, I was kidnapped. Honestly, he said I was kidnapped, and everything that was laid against me he's not guilty with the wife, and
It's like, really, brother. Are you looking at it are you looking at it differently? Like,
and the funny thing is that, like, we have evidences everywhere, littered everywhere. They're showing you some of your ships going through the oceans trying to get into the United States and have been bombed so many times.
I'm not surprised if they still use Pablo Escobar's tunnel.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised, bro.
imagine that. So, talking about Colombia, I don't know much about Colombia, but I'm aware that immediately this happened, the news started showing the Colombian border between Venezuela and Colombia, that it was now being protected. There was heightened security.
Yep.
And of course, Trump has just made a pass and said he should be careful. The president, he said.
Well, look, bro. Look, Colombia as well is the people are very good, but like I said, there's corruption there too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of corruption there. Colombian, obviously, the history that it has. Where do you think cocaine comes from? Well, obviously, Colombia and Venezuela would have had a deal with each other, and then the presidency of Venezuela would have used it and then sent it off. It's a partnership at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But I love it how Colombia put their walls up straight away. It's like, you're not coming in here.
Yeah. Well, it's one thing I know about the United States is that they can keep quiet with some things, but I'm sure that if they want to get in, they will get in. The fact is when. Because I can remember my country on the 25th of December, Christmas Day, we had like a bomb was launched in my country by the UN, the United States. And that was because of the ISIS in my country.
Wow.
Killing Christians, per se. You understand?
And that's one thing that people weren't talking about. It was frustrating me. It's like,
Um,
as soon as Venezuela was announced, everyone knew. But what happened in Nigeria, nothing. No one was talking about it.
The thing about it is that, when a lot of things were happening with Palestine and Israel and all of that, I used to wonder, and I said to people, do the media actually, zoom into Africa to see what's happening in Sudan? That from the satellite you could see dead bodies, South Sudan especially. from the IDF camps, that people are displaced, and even where they are displaced, there's no food to drink. People are dying every day, and there's so much war happening. Nobody was doing that. Now, secondly, in Nigeria, my country, in the northern part of Nigeria, where Christians, not just Christians, also even people who are not Christians, are being literally killed. Pregnant women broke into up. This is our media, right? They're not something they're not new, and these are facts.
So yeah, when I talk about finding out information, I usually like to look at other countries, and I feel like other countries feel like more information about what's actually happening, and they actually have like live streams, and very informed. So any information that I really want to get out of anything, or what, especially what happened here with the Bondi shooting and stuff, we didn't really know much about it. I just heard shooting, but as soon as I went and looked it up in a different country, like Chile, they had a lot of information about what happened, where they came from, as well. They had bombs in the cars ready. They had everything. So when it comes to the media, they don't really talk about much about it. You know what I mean? Especially, I didn't even know that was happening in Nigeria, that Christians were getting killed by ISIS, and the pregnant women as well. Like that's as well very sad for what's happening in Nigeria.
Yeah. So for Nigeria, we have had a lot happening recently, and as I said earlier on, that currently right now we've seen that even the military planes have been landing in Nigeria from the US. All right, deploying per se weapons to be able to help out, because obviously we now know that we have ISIS now in Nigeria, and they border themselves on two things, Boko Haram and all of that. You understand? So of course the history, we have a lot of pages on Instagram that explains all those things. Yeah. So but however, what I'm trying to say is that the media is not doing a lot of work in pushing out some certain informations, especially when it comes to some certain places of the world.
I know what you mean.
I'm not from South Sudan, but what's happening in South Sudan today?
It's very sad.
Congo.
Yeah.
Congo. Do you know what's happening there?
No.
Congo is one of the richest countries in the world.
I remember you telling me that.
One of the richest. They have lots of things. And if you look around the world and check it out, most countries that have the richest resources, that's where there's war. That's where there's problem. That's where there's issues. Check it out.
That's true, actually. No, it's right when you say it's what's happening in Venezuela. They have the richest sources, but you got to corrupt the man. It's what happens in South Sudan, and I'm guessing as well. You're saying Congo. When you have I've noticed when they have gold and oil and maybe even diamonds, there's corruption there.
Yeah,
and it's sad because if you think about it, man, like these countries shouldn't be third world countries; they should be first world countries.
Yeah, because like for instance, the reason why we have most African countries and developing countries, third world countries, is because of corrupt leaders. That's a fact. Selfishness, because we have leaders who have been. Do you want to tell me that some of our past presidents haven't traveled to other countries? And
they have.
And they're gonna go get medical treatment outside the country, and they do a lot of things outside the country. Like, they do all those kind of things, and you think like, they don't know what good life looks like. You talk about exposure. You say, oh, this person haven't been to this place. If you have been to somewhere, you see maybe a Lamborghini for the first time, you're going to be like, oh, wow, there's Lamborghini. And then you can go buy it, right? So they know all these things. They know all the stuff, right?
It's just sad. What it's because corruption has been happening for years, bro. Like when I went to France, I was learning about the French history. There's so much so much power, control. It's the same things happening right here, but it's more modern. Before, back in the day, it's more like they would travel long time just to get to a country, take over, see if they have gold or not, and then bring it back and try to make their country rich. The same what happened with the Roman Empire.
Yeah,
it's been going on for years, but right now I think it's different now because the people back in the day were scared. Now we don't want that anymore. We want peace. I want peace. I don't want to turn on the TV or be on social media and then finding out that this country got bombed by this person or there's innocent people dying. It's heartbreaking because you don't want to see that. You don't want as well those people suffering. Everyone deserves to have life. Everyone deserves to have a good life as well.
Yeah. From what you're saying, I really agree with your perspective on this matter. Because I really believe that. If there's this quote I had when I was little. They say great nations are made by great citizens.
That's right.
So it's not just about who is there, it's about the citizens, because if you say, okay, let's remove this person and put this other person, how sure are we that this person who is out there is not more even corrupted, if given the power, than this person? Some people can't even speak for themselves. I ask you, my friend will be like, oh, this country, and I say, bro, if they give you that same seat, you don't know who you are yet.
That's true.
Because, you're going to see a lot of people that are genuine, good, they want to do good things, and they get into the place of power, they sit in that seat, and it's as if something just comes on them.
It changes their minds.
They just change. They stop being caring. They just start thinking about acquisition, getting more. And they get so much that even them themselves cannot even finish it. They can't even, they don't even know what to do with it. Yeah.
It's when you think about it, bro, we're all trusting somebody who says, bro, I'm going to change everything. I'm going to change this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to bring the country back again. But when they get in power, they don't do much. It's the same what happened with our prime minister. A lot of people don't like him because he promised a lot of things, but he's not really doing much.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean?
Is it the current one or the previous one?
The current one.
The current.
It's the same one from last 3 years.
Yeah,
it's the same one, but it's like, it's one of those things, man. Like, you got to put your hands and trust in somebody, and then they don't end up doing what they want to do. So who do you trust?
I believe that someday that you would have someone who's contesting for the Prime Minister in Australia.
You think so?
Sitting in your podcast.
Well, I'm going to question every single fucking question. I'll question everything.
Yeah.
Why are we getting so much tax? Why are we not getting paid as much? Why is it this?
Why? With the resources we have, right?
Yeah. Well, bro, when I found out the resources that we have, and then I found out that if they don't tax us and they tax the resources that we send out, we could be as rich as like AUE. Is that AUE?
Yeah.
Is it Dubai? Yeah, we could be rich as Dubai.
And
I was like, what is going on? And like I said, it's corruption. When you find out things here, bro, it's corruption in a way that we don't know.
Like sometimes when people talk about, I know we're coming to the end of this particular one, but sometimes when people talk about Dubai, I'm like, people should think about the leader. It goes back to the leader.
Yeah, the leader thinks about the people.
This guy, this guy was thinking beyond even, he was thinking long term.
Yeah.
If you look at some graphics on the documentary of Dubai, you see it was built from scratch, from Scrabbles. But this guy had a vision. And that vision is one of the things that are attracting investors. Every day people are going to Dubai. People are moving from every part of the world. Most millionaires in the UK today, everybody's shifting to Dubai because of tax.
Yeah,
because
bro.
It's tax-free. You come there to do your business.
And there's a lot of things there, like, bro, there's so much things that's happening in Dubai. Bro, they have, like, boxing, UFC, I think Formula One.
Yeah.
Everything's there. Even when I found out that they want to make the city thin.
And
so there's more room for, like, nature.
Imagine that. And they're still dreaming, they're still building. It is a country that wants to work. This, like, how old is Dubai? Per se.
It's not even that old, actually.
Not that old. No, so, you think about it and you're like, this is based on if we want to build something, we will build it.
Yeah, 100%. If you think about the people and the country, and if you want to make the country good and you want to make everything, bro, Australia, it feels like a third world country sometimes because of all the stabbing and everything. But anyway, we move on from that and talk about, what did you talk about again? Relationships. Yes. Well, start it off, my friend.
All right. So I just want to ask a question. Is there a right time for people to get into a relationship?
Oh, that's a good question, actually. I think it all depends on the person's mentality, to be honest. Because there's some people who are career-orientated. Some people don't want to have kids. Some people who want to just think about themselves. Some of them don't. They give up in relationships.
So let's put it into context. That's good. Now, I want to zoom it up. Between age and maturity.
Mm-hmm.
So does it have a lot to play with when people get into a relationship?
I think it all depends on the person, to be honest, bro. Because, like, there are some people who in their mid-30s who just I think, give up halfway. They do. They're like, I think if they have like a bad relationship, or they have a bad person, or a bad history, or somebody cheated on them, and they end up having, insecurities and all of that. So some of them, depending, some of them would rather stay single, or some of them had a lot of partners, and then they realize that maybe it's not really for me.
All right, because why I'm asking that question is because as I begin to grow in life, I begin to question, because you notice that most relationship issues that we're having today, we see out there, most of the time you ask yourself, is this person really mature enough to get into this at first?
That's true. Some people don't want to move on from what they did in their 20s.
Is this person really at that particular, you ask some questions. So I've seen people on different live sessions, they're asking about age. Does age really matter? What about maturity and all of that? And for me, I would choose the part of maturity. Because, for instance, you can have someone who's 25, getting married. He's well matured. He's handling his thing properly. Why some 25 years old, they're not there yet? That's fine. Do you understand? But if you say, because I'm 30, I'm 40, I should just go get married just because I'm that particular age. Now, that is not a guarantee that things are really going to work out well, because these things are things that you mature into. And most people just want to get into it instead of learning through the process. For instance, I have had people that never had female friends.
But let me ask you a question. Can a man have a female friend?
Can a man do what?
Can a man have a female friend?
Can a man have a female friend? That depends on the man's disposition. If he's married,
it can depend on the woman as well.
And it depends on the woman as well. So but the context that I'm bringing into is not just people in the relationship. It's depending on maturity and the place of age.
Let me ask you a question.
Relationship.
What is maturity then?
So maturity now is having that mental capacity and being able to get to that point where you can be able to handle some certain things. So the person becomes self-aware that I know what this is for. I know the purpose of this thing. If I give a 2 years old my phone, do you know what he's going to do with it? He might just put it inside the water. He does not know what it is for. He does not understand it. You understand? So it's something like that. You know what I mean? So people become more responsible for falling in love, knowing that I'm responsible for this. I have to be responsible for myself. We were talking the other day, and you and I was talking to some, I'm not going to mention the person's name. And this person doesn't believe in, he's just single.
And having fun.
And having fun. He doesn't believe in staying with one woman.
But there's some people who think like that.
That's their choice.
That's their choice. Or at the end of the day, I feel like they've look.
And the part that I'm talking about is not even that. The part I'm talking about, because when it comes to whether it's one woman, two women, and all of that, people zoom down to their culture, their religion, what they believe, their value systems. It all boils down to that. But what I'm talking about is the general one. They have to do with knowing that you are not even all those other ones. You are responsible to be in a relationship. It's something that is actively mutual, right? So your feelings, everything will come into the equation of, who you're dealing with and all of that. So most times why I'm dwelling on this is because I'm going to ask you another question.
What's the question?
Yeah. So between a man and a woman, who loves best? Who do you think fall in love easily? Love harder?
You know what, to be honest?
Yes.
I think for me, it's all depending on it can't be either the woman falls hard or the man falls hard. Because I think everyone has a thing that makes him fall in love. That's what I think. Okay. Because it's like for me, if I fall deep in love, but she doesn't fall deep in love with me, because maybe I haven't done that thing that made her fall in love with me, but she's done the right thing to make me fall in love with her. So do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So I feel like it's all depending on the person and what makes him fall in love with somebody. Do you know what I mean? It could be small. It could be something very tiny. Like if my partner has a little brother and I'm looking after him, and she probably can see me as a father figure. She falls in love because he'd be like, I can see that he can be a really good father figure or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Vice versa, something that she does that makes me fall in love with her. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So I think it's all depending on what those people look for to fall in love.
Thank you for that. Because where I was also narrowing this to is because in general, one of the cultural shock that I've had, leaving and moving from my country to another country, is that the perspectives of relationship is so different.
Yes, it's crazy here.
Especially, when I came to Australia, I'll go to work, and after work we'll just hang out somewhere, and I'm just talking to my colleagues. I'm like, oh, how you doing? They're gonna look my hand and see my ring. I'm like, are you married? I say, yeah, I'm married. And they're gonna ask me, oh, you have a partner? I'm like, partner? I say, oh, yeah, I have a partner. And they're like, okay. When are you guys gonna do your wedding? I'm like, wait a minute. I said I'm married, and they're like, oh. So one day I talked to one of my friends, and he's always telling me I have a partner. In my mind, in my country where I come from, when you say you have a partner, it means that you've married.
Oh, so the word partner here, I think, is because if you're dating for so long.
Yes.
So instead of I think girlfriend is like a short period of time, maybe 2, 3, 4 years.
Teach me that.
And then when you if you're going out for maybe 10 years, and you're not married yet, you just call each other, oh, she is my partner.
You see that?
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or if you're engaged, my fiance.
Yeah, of course, that one, I know that one.
And then married.
But people who are watching this, most of them from Africa, something, or people from Nigeria, they can tell you that there's, before you call someone partner, it simply means that you guys are already married.
Oh, okay. So you're getting the word understanding mixed up.
Yes, so the word is... So sometimes I'm like, oh, my wife, you can be talking to me about somebody. I'm like, oh, that guy's married. I'm like, married? So I was doing a lot of interchanging it until one day I have to ask a friend, and she was like, okay, this is what it looks like. I mean, that this is what, and I discovered is the culture here.
It's like we called it, someone would be like, oh, how's your missus?
Yes.
It's my partner.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the culture here. But back in Africa, Nigeria to be precise, for instance, they call them girlfriends, right? Girlfriends, they say, oh, we're dating. You understand? So you don't say, this person is my partner. They say, this person is my girlfriend. I'm seeing this person. So when they now put the ring or something, you can say they're engaged. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying it's different perspectives.
It's funny how different parts of the world have different ways of
different views.
Bro, it's like some countries don't believe in divorce.
Yeah, some countries don't believe in it.
Yeah, my wife's country, Philippines, they don't believe in divorce.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as divorce, but there's another one, I can't remember the word. There's full on to the point that the marriage never exists. That's the kind of divorce. It never existed. So everything when you divorce, okay, he was married, he got divorced. There's this one thing that they do is it's full on if you want to get divorced, but this marriage never existed. Because it's a religious country.
Oh yeah. So it's the ideas of relationship in different parts of the world is crazy. Now, most times when people travel, most Africans, when they come over here and in other parts of the world, we notice that there's a lot of stress that happen with relationships because it's no longer business as usual. Because you get to start seeing different things, especially if you're a single person. You come into this space and you realize that there are some things that are not that difficult again, that you could meet anybody anywhere, you understand? And of course, you could have access to fun as much as you want. Let me tell you the truth. If Nigerians are watching this, say, they're Nigerian guys, especially those in Australia, it's difficult for them to settle. And purposes might be because, you get to meet different people here. And sometimes you have to spend 90 days to hang out with a girl before you even say hello, hi, and all of that, and even start saying let's go, that kind of thing.
I think when it comes to Nigeria and stuff like that, it's just in those countries that has more tradition.
Yes.
Here has no tradition. It's more I'm going I talk to her, she talks to me, and this and that. I think in other countries, even there's some they make deals with the family. I give you this much cows and gold for her.
Yes.
But I feel when it comes to relationships, it's good to date because you're always getting this, bro. You're always knowing them because everyone's changing. Not everyone's the same. I'm not the same person 5 years ago. I'm not the same person when I was 23 or 26 or 20 whatever. And she's getting to know a different version of me. I'm getting to know a different version of her.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And I feel some people who don't really want to have a relationship because they're so worried, they don't want to get in Australia, if you want to put it in Australian terms, they don't want to get their balls broken. That's pretty much simple. That's how simple I can put it.
Well, so how do you put in this context and relationship where we talk about, selflessness?
So yeah, with selfishness, bro, I think it's all depending on. I think you gotta fall in love.
Yeah.
And I feel like people are scared to fall in love.
Why?
Because you're gonna get. It's like if I fall in love with a person or with a woman, and she doesn't end up not loving me, so that can affect a lot on the person's mentality. Do you know what I mean? Am I not lovable? If there's something wrong with me, am I doing if I'm not doing the right thing?
Yes.
But I feel like, I think you don't look for love. You let it come to you, because I feel like when you least expect it, that person, the right person, pops through.
Okay.
That's what I think, because that's what I've experienced. The right person pops through when you least expect it. Sometimes you just end up meeting this random person in a restaurant or anywhere.
Yeah.
Randomly, you could be in a bus stop.
Yes.
And then you guys end up start clicking. And then when you start clicking, you start... The one thing I say to a lot of people is, you will know when you start talking to them and it feels like you know them your whole life.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's when I think you met the right person. And the journey, I think relationship is really hard. It has its good moments and it has its very ugly moments.
Yes.
I think the ugly moments is when people want to just give up. And I think a relationship is like building a house. Like you're going to get moments that it's going to be hard.
Yes.
But then there's moments that it's very easy and you guys end up like getting along more.
Yeah. Because I think when people meet people for the first time, they tend to click. As people call it, chemistry and all of that. So they are wowed by each other, as you said, and they get to feel like they share different ideologies, value system. And I like what you said, because beyond that, when they start getting more intimate, getting to know each other, now they're married or now they live in the same house, and then they start making babies. Lots of that. There's a lot of things that comes with it, and I love the fact that you mentioned that part, and I like the fact that it's coming from you when you say that it's like a house, because it sounds African when you said that. Like it's like a house, which is really good. It's like
it is like a house, because you're building a home together. Especially look, when you're dating somebody, depending on age group you are, or not really, because if I'm in my 30s and I'm dating, I'm living separately. I'm not living with them.
Yes.
So that first part of it is fun.
Yes.
Then it gets to the moment that it's like repetitive. But then that's the moment that you have to put in the work. You know what I mean? That's what I think. You got to put in a lot of work. You got to put into as well understand, because I feel like some people, when it comes to being selfish, they want that partner to only like what they like.
Yes.
And I think that's where a lot of heads hit, because like there's probably things that she doesn't like, but she ends up liking it anyways. For example, like she's not a big fan of football.
Yeah.
I love football.
Yeah.
As you can tell.
Yes, I can tell.
Do you know what I mean? But she ends up liking it because she knows I like it. And she supports teams that I like, and as well my country, because that's a small thing. It's like that. So you can't expect that person to like what you like all the time. And as well, you have to like what she likes as well. You know what I mean? It's not just all about you. And that's what a lot of people think have a problem with. They want to be, some people want to be old-minded and be like, old school. It's like my way or the highway. It's not like that.
It's not like that.
I think once someone told me, because before I was getting married, I was asking for a lot of marriage advice. Because here in Australia, a lot of people get divorced. Reality of it. A lot of people get divorced. And I don't want that.
Many countries as well.
And many countries, and I don't want that. It's over small things, or even when people have kids, they can't deal with it. So I'm like, okay, what advice can people give me who are older, who've been married for so long? And they said, if you marry your best friend, you're set for life. So that's what it is. If you guys are like best friends and able to, if you're happy to be with each other all the time, instead of you want to go out and hang out with your friends, then you're not really in love. That's my actual thought of it.
Okay. Well, I really, really agree with what you said. Actually, when you use the idea of a building, right? Because most people just don't see it that way. People see beautiful couples today, lovely couples having a good life, and they just want to be like them. But nobody sees what they went through to be what they are, Nobody sees, I mean, the moment the disagreements, the moment they have to try to, learn of this person. Oh, this person likes this person don't like this, and all of that. They didn't see all of that, but they just want to be. So just like people see buildings today, finished building. When you start building a house, it doesn't look good, but when you finish it and paint it, it looks so good, and that's how a relationship looks like.
That's how it should be.
Yeah. So when people want to advise relationship, I used to tell them, I think the best advice you can start from is starting from the back. We know it's going to be some roses in between, some lovey-dovey, but I wanted to start from the other side, where you have to ask yourself, how can you deal with conflict?
Yeah.
How can you deal with each other? I mean, if the water breaks, how do you deal with that? Will you just wake up and say, this, I'm not doing it again. Oh, this, and all of that. And when I say, apart from I believe one thing, that apart from the place of physical abuse, and emotional abuse to some extent, especially when people just, check out and go do something somewhere else, you know what I mean? I don't really think that there's not anything really that's strong enough that could not be resolved in the long term, no matter how it is, for people not to stay. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but that notwithstanding, the points that I know that we're trying to make here is that people have to learn that you build true things, and building true marriages, it takes a lot.
It takes work. It's not like something that, she's just whatever, she's going to do what I want to do, or blah blah blah. No, it takes a lot of work and a lot of energy. Yeah. Because I'm saying, if you love that person, you will do it. Yeah. But if you're just having that person because you're getting older and you just settling for the best thing, bro, some people want people who have money. Yeah. And the reason why I want to talk about that, because I saw this movie. It was with Pedro Pascal and that actor from Captain America. Yeah. And there was this woman that she was, her job was looking for relationships. Yes. So they'll give her what she like. Oh, I want a person who has this, some money, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Then she was dealing with her own thing because she grew up poor. So she's trying to look for a guy with money. So this actor, the character that Pedro Pascal played, he was a man with money, and as well, she's looking for someone who's tall, blah 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 blah. And then her ex, who was trying to work on his acting career, he wasn't rich. He was just trying to do what he can do to make his dreams come true. So they had no much money, and it didn't work out. But since she was going through that moment, she was dating that rich guy, and then she finds out that the rich guy did operation to get taller. Okay. And then she was going through a bad moment at work. She couldn't tell that person that she was dating about her problems. She ends up going back to her ex and telling her how she felt.
That's crazy.
So she, at the end of the pretty short, to keep it short and simple, she chose her ex, who she had more of a connection with, who didn't have money, who was trying to go through trying to achieve his career. He was really in love with her, you can tell. It just shows that, you don't chase for a person what they have. Yeah. You have to fall in love with how the person makes you feel.
You come for the person.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
because,
other things, yeah.
If it's not me chasing this woman because she's all beautiful and everything that, but then she's not, I don't feel comfortable around to tell her my problems. Safe. Yeah. I'd rather go back to the person who I fall in love with because of how she is. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So it's a big difference. Like people I want a beautiful model woman. But what if that model woman is not what she is? Yeah, I know. She doesn't cook, she doesn't clean. Yeah, she's all about herself, but she's not cool or like friendly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're talking about character here.
Character, 100%.
What people don't see and all of that. Yeah, and most of the time people don't also envision the part of knowing that love is not even enough at some point, because you have to bring in commitment. You have to bring in 100% of most of the things when it comes to relationship. Most people say, oh, I'm just going to bring in, my 50% or 40%, but when it comes to relationship and all of that, it deals with 100% from both ends. Because just as you said, you have to work this thing out. Yes. It's like a house, like a farmland. If you don't work it, weeds are going to grow.
Exactly.
And that's when people start having communication issues and all of that. So I for one, when you talk about money and people marrying because of what they can get, I used to think that was how it happening in Africa, like in Africa where you can see somebody will say that this guy is rich, maybe have a lot of money, and have potential, but they know they don't love this guy.
It's more like what he brings.
Yeah.
See, but that doesn't work out because he brings you're financially fine, everything, but is that it?
Yeah, and there's this ideology that people say, of course, where there's money, there's gonna be romance. It's gonna be, and of course we have seen that in the long run, most relationships that didn't work out for long. Sometimes when those kind of people even travel outside the country, and the girl realizes that she cannot make money. You see the real colors. They turn up on their spouses. They turn up on the man, and they're like, I'm not doing again. They start being abusive and all of that. The one that happened in Melbourne recently. This is like a couple like that. This was everywhere. They've come from somewhere. It's Kenya? I'm sure it's not Nigeria, but Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
And so they come from there, and they came here, and they have been out. They've been doing really good. And then the woman wakes up one morning after coming over to join her husband here for just 6 months and said, I'm not doing it again. 6 months. I'm not doing it again. It's just like a 2 years or 3 years relationship. Marriage.
That can happen as well.
And reason being that, no, I don't love you. I never loved you at first.
Wow. See, that's my point exactly.
You understand? I never loved you at first. And then they checked everything and they realized that she's been sending money to the real lover back in Kenya.
See what I mean, though?
See that?
So, like, exactly what the movie is.
So I think people should be genuine with, forever is too long. Unless you want to just check in and check out, which is not a good history at all.
I think the check in and check out doesn't last long.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. Because at the end of the day, you can be like, the person can have so much money in the world. But even the richest people are depressed because there's not much money. They don't realize money doesn't buy you happiness. It doesn't.
It doesn't.
It does not, because like you can, okay, he's a millionaire. You can buy a car. You can go on holidays. You don't have to work. But at the end of the day, there's no feelings.
Emotional fulfillment.
Yeah, there's no emotionless.
I can buy that. Money cannot buy that. That's what I can tell you.
Connection. There's no connection.
Yeah, that's emotions.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
emotions.
it's like, I think it's better off having connections with your partner or
being genuine.
Yeah, being genuine instead of. I think what's more impressive for me, if I see it, two couples who had nothing and built themselves into who they are now, and they worked hard together and built a beautiful life, like having nice houses and stuff, but they both had nothing and building into something. That is the most richest thing a person can have. That's what I think.
I used to tell most of my friends that if people saw me back in the day, I told you a little bit about myself.
Yes, you did.
Back in the day in Nigeria, walking in the streets of Abuja, and just, as a medical guy and just living my life, there were people that couldn't look at me like twice. And I remember when, because of what he said, it just takes me back memory. And I remember some things, and I just think about it. I'm like, literally nothing. Literally nothing. I know we are still in the process, but we've come like 1,000 times steps from where we used to be.
Exactly, because you had that right partner with you, supporting you to who you are now. So that's the best thing, bro.
Yeah. So my wife is like not just my wife. She has built. We've been through everything.
That laugh says a lot. He starts laughing like.
We've been through everything you can think about.
Yeah.
So I really understand, and that's why I know that some people will travel over here without not knowing anybody. It's a very difficult thing.
It is difficult
because building with someone from scratch, it's not that easy, but it does a lot better when you guys come to a certain level of life,
and it's rewarding.
And it's very rewarding,
especially if your partner supports you.
Yeah, I'm married in my 20s, bro. Back 20s. Mid-20s.
Oh, damn.
Think about that.
I'm married a bit later. 28.
So, I mean, it's not something I normally talk publicly, but I'm just sharing a bit of it. But I know someday I'm just going to talk about it publicly. But the thing is that when people are thinking about getting into a relationship, talking about love, make it real. Be honest with yourself.
Well, I think that's what a lot of people. I hope if people are listening, if you really want to work on yourself and as well have a beautiful life, I think you just gotta work on relationships really, because like being alone is hard.
Yeah.
Like I think I really agree on loving yourself and putting yourself first.
Yes.
But nothing is more rewarding than
Beautiful.
having a good partner next to you doing that, because it's like the best thing.
Because love is not just about yourself. Love is about giving. Love wants to give and receive. You know what I mean? So you want also to see someone that you can share that love with. You know? And you have to be really, really, intentional to be able to say that because there are a lot of unintentional people out there today. There are lots of people who come, different things they're looking for. Some ladies are looking for different things, especially with these dating apps and all of that.
Yeah, definitely.
Changing the horizon, how people think about things.
I feel love right now is very low.
It's very low.
There's a lot of people, and look, I'm not going to judge. We're not judging people.
No, not judging.
Because we're religious people at the end of the day. But at the end, about being realistic, a lot of people are obsessed with sex, reality of it, and it's part of human. It's part of human.
Yeah, it's human.
You know what I mean? You're single is fine, but sometimes I feel like love is really dead.
Yeah.
Well, it's not dead; it's dying. But
It's
hopefully,
dying.
2026,
it's dying.
we can change that and become more.
Talk about
loving.
So why I started asking about this is because I feel like also there's this aspect of love where people can express themselves. So you see a guy who likes a girl. He doesn't know how to approach that girl. And then you see a girl telling you, this person is my friend. But he's not saying something, and I have feelings for him. So how do we deal with that? I know we're going to talk about this next time anyway.
No, we definitely will talk about that. That's a good one. So you tell me how a guy would approach a girl that he likes?
Yeah. In a more cordial, in a more very, respectable way. That makes the person see and know what they're communicating. And then the girls are saying...
You know what, bro? You're bringing me back to high school, bro. you know when you're in high school, you like somebody, but you want to say something, but you can't say them, and your heart's like beating out of the chest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just bring me back to high school, bro.
I was talking to one particular guy the other day, and he was telling me at the beach, we're just chatting. He's come from Tasmania. He was telling me, do you know, I met a girl the other day at the club. I was thinking about what to take to the girl. I have to go to ChatGPT, and I'm like, how do I talk to this girl? I met this girl. So I'm like, what?
I feel like just talk to them, man. And then, you'll see if the girl likes you or not. And if you do, you just be like, look, what do you want to do? Do you want to go on a date or something? You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know, because
I really want
bring me back to high school, and I'm like,
I don't want us to think about because most guys don't really know how to approach women.
Yeah, that's true.
And some ladies out there, and most ladies too, who feel that they want to communicate this to this friend of theirs who actually are so good to them.
I don't know, bro. No, I think it's swapped now. I think women are more acting like men and just approaching guys.
Yeah. I mean, like, what better ways to do that? So I would really want us to indulge in more of that topic.
We'll enjoy. We will. Don't worry.
Next time one will come.
This is not the last one. There's going to be plenty more.
Yeah. So so that we can talk about, because we need to know why would somebody see somebody that they like, and sometimes they're even talking.
It's probably that connection, bro.
But they're not saying anything. Sometimes they have that connection, but they're not making communication.
Because you get nervous. The emotions get the best of you, bro. That's what I'm saying. As soon as you said that, I'm like, bro, you're bringing me back to high school. All of this. When I'm saying, like, I haven't had that feeling in a long time, but, when you like somebody and you're like, oh, I don't know what to do.
Yeah. They just
what do I say? And then you get there, you're hell nervous and you're sweating, your palms are sweating.
Because we have so many people friend zoned who should be in love.
I think the friend zone is probably because they're like, they like hanging out, but they're not ready to make that level yet.
For instance, what I'm trying to say is they know that there's something boiling. They have feelings.
Yeah.
But for just no reason, the one is acting like a normal friend, but you can see in their eyes that
they like each other.
They like each other. And maybe
I know what you mean. I've seen those.
The girl is being conservative. Maybe she from her culture. Because I know this. One of my friends was a Serbian girl. She said in Serbia, a girl don't approach a guy.
A girl doesn't approach a guy.
Yeah, the guy have to approach.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm
Same
saying.
thing in Africa.
But here in Australia,
But here in Australia,
it's opposite. Here in Australia, it's opposite.
Yeah,
bro.
in Australia, it's opposite. That it's only in Australia I came to and I realized that that a girl can walk up to you and say,
Yeah, yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, a girl can walk up to you.
And I want to see my boyfriend. I'm like,
Yeah, girl. I find, bro, that did not happen until like a couple of years ago. I remember my middle brother, man. He used to tell me like, I have to come up with all these things and this and that to approach a girl. But now it's just front flipped.
Yeah.
But we'll just wrap it up there today. Thank you so much for everyone from joining. Thank you, Precious, for coming on
so
today.
much, guys.
I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode. This is a good start for Beyond No Limits.
Yeah.
Thank you for everyone from watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and you can leave a comment in this as well. Tell me what you think about the politics of the world and as well about relationships. And thank you for everyone for listening. See you later.
See you later. Thank you.